Even though Frank doesn't know me that well at all, I really like to grill with Frank. Grilling some dogs. He's in his hot dog costume. It's Halloween.
Hi, I'm Frank. I'm a professional chef, and this is a $260 pork chop dinner.
Hi, I'm Gabi. I am a home cook, and this is my $17 pork chop dinner. Ooh!
No!
Ooh, I'm gonna take that.
All right, we can work with that. Beer, I like beer.
Are those saffron strands in the salt? I'm gonna read Frank's diary.
For my dinner, I planned on doing a higher-end dinner with a Spanish theme. I had a really beautiful piece of Iberico pork.
Very, very, very different than my Pennsylvania girl recipe.
Pork is supposed to be fatty, and the fat is what makes it delicious. Fat equals flavor. I had all the ingredients to make a pan paisan with Iberico ham. It's a huge potato cake that you cut into slices.
Pommes paisan. Is that right?
Russet potatoes, clarified butter, unsalted butter.
Double dipping on the butter.
Cured Iberico ham.
This is like what you eat on Christmas Day.
Idiazabal cheese.
Hard cheese in that world of Spanish cheeses.
Sticking with the Spanish theme, broccoli rabe with chilies and smoked paprika.
Broccoli rabe kind of thing.
And all topped off with a grilled spring onion vinaigrette.
I don't really know where the vinaigrette goes. Oh, on the pork chop. Okay.
With Gabi's recipe, we have simpler ingredients, things you're more likely to find in the supermarket or in your home.
This dish is very nostalgic for me. My grandmother, she always made me pork chops and scalloped potatoes. I love those memories with her. Oh my God, I have an actual tear sliding down my cheeks. Sorry. I'm a very emotional person if you haven't figured it out yet.
Unsalted butter, russet potatoes, garlic, heavy cream, thyme, cheddar cheese, and thank goodness we have some beer.
You gotta have beer when you cook.
These ingredients are simple, but with some good technique, we can elevate them and make them better. So if I had to guess, this would cost about $18, $19. Pretty close.
I would say all of this is maybe $150. $260. Woo! I'm gonna start with the pomme paisan. Pomme paisan. There's gonna be someone in the comments like, I'm French, she butchered it.
At the end of the day, it's just a beautifully brown potato cake. Butter, potatoes, salt, pepper.
I don't see any additional footnotes for how to exactly put this together, which is a little concerning.
The key to the paisan potatoes is that you are pushing it into the pan. You want no air gaps, so you get like this nice filling layer. It's almost like frosting in the middle, but maybe a little more delicious than frosting, of cheese and ham. Rose and I are gonna have a little chat about these pomme paisan. Oh my gosh, how are you? It's so nice to meet you. Wow, this is such a wonderful...
It is so nice to meet you.
I know most of these ingredients, but there are a couple things I'm super not quite familiar with, and I would love some advice. The pomme paisan.
I think your French sounds perfect. So you're gonna take the matchstick potatoes, a little bit of salt, put them in a pan, press down, and fry them, basically. If you can use a clarified butter, that's a really delicious way to go.
Okay, that's on the list.
Don't rinse your potatoes. You want a nice starchy potato, so I think if you use a russet potato, that will work really well for this.
Perfect.
If it seems like there's water that's coming out, you can squeeze it out and get rid of that water. It sounds like there's definitely a really nice Spanish theme to this home.
Yes, I love it.
Good luck, I think you're gonna be great at it.
Thank you so much. I gotta go in confident. Start out here so I can end somewhere around here.
Originally, Gabi had planned on making a potatoes au gratin. Basically, a gratin is a dish that you brown stuff in. Cheesy, creamy, comforting. It's a great comfort food, and I think that Gabi had mentioned that it was something she made with her grandmother. I'm gonna get rid of the gratin dish, and I'm gonna use individual foil molds. It's probably gonna be a little smaller than the portion that Gabi served, but worst case scenario, have a second one. You dirty savage. Obviously, I don't need to use all of this incredible ham, so I'm just gonna eat a little bit while I start shredding my cheese. Start shredding. Yeah, that's plenty. Now I can focus on the taters, as I like to call them. I'm gonna peel them. I don't have the best technique. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna butter these, because I eventually want to get this out. Unsalted butter, I control the salt. Make sure that you get into the corners. So the next thing we're gonna do is potatoes. These are russet potatoes or Idaho potatoes. I do like potato skins when I roast potatoes, but for this dish, I want it to kind of be a nice blonde white. It's an aesthetic choice. Potatoes like a Yukon Gold are a little more waxy, okay? And we want that starchy potato to hold our gratin together. If you have one of these peelers, there's this little thing here, and what it's there for is if you have an eye of a potato, you just scoop it out and you pop the eye of the potato out.
Is that what this is for? The more you know.
You can see when I peel, I do long strokes. As a chef, you want to be efficient and quick.
These are ready to be turned into matchsticks. My friend, the mandolin, which is one of the most terrifying objects in the kitchen. I'm just gonna be as careful as I possibly can.
We want to use a mandolin to get a nice uniform thickness, and I'm going for about 1/4 inch. A couple of things you want to be very, very conscious about is that you're putting your hand in the way of a blade. You're pushing your hand towards a blade.
That's why it says to be careful.
And you don't want to have a bloody gratin.
It's very clunky. This is,
Go over the blade. As I get closer to the blade, I was grabbing the potato, now I flatten out my hand.
I can no longer talk until I am done. I'm gonna start sweating. Sorry I talked, but.
All I'm gonna do with these potatoes is put them into the pot, right? We're gonna cook them right away, okay? I'm gonna get a piece of garlic and you grab it and you throw it across the room. I usually grab this end and twist it a little and then I just lean on it. If you lean on it, you'll get all the cloves out. Give it a little whack. It's not going to be overpowering. It goes right into the pot.
My taters are turning a little brown now, so I want to get them in the pan ASAP. I'm going to use clarified butter. I'm going to go ahead and give this like a nice hefty pinch of salt. I know Rosemary said to keep it really compressed. We're working harder, not smarter right now. Start putting these potatoes in, and then I'm going to squish them all down. Make sure I have some for the top. I want to make sure that I have a really nice, firm bottom layer. I wonder how Frank's doing.
I don't want this to boil, I just want it to simmer. I'm gonna add cream. I'm gonna hit it with some salt. And I did say a little bit of salt, but for the most part, it's a lot of salt. Potatoes are one of those things that people consistently underseason. And again, being the salt master. Black pepper in a white dish. Classical French cooking, cardinal sin. I'm gonna break that rule. I like the kind of sharpness of black pepper. What's gonna happen is as the potatoes cook, they're gonna absorb some of the cream and they're gonna absorb some of the salt.
I'm gonna go ahead and start putting in my cheese over the top here. Look at the fat. Oh, it's amazing. The fat of it already melting, like savory, fatty ice cream. I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of my potatoes and tamp those back down. I want these potatoes to be perfect.
Being careful not to scorch it on the bottom. The cream's gonna go from that cream consistency, it's gonna start to get a little thick and bubbly. While I'm waiting this for simmer, I'm gonna put a little bit of thyme and I'm gonna grate some cheese. We have a sharp cheddar here. It's a great cheese, but you gotta be careful with it in this dish. You have to add it towards the end. You don't wanna bring this cream mixture to a boil with the cheese because then the cheese breaks and gets oily. What I'll do is I'll cut the cheese. Instead of doing this the granny way style, I turn it on its side and I push. Right? I find this just to be a little easier than the old way of grating. That's how you grate cheese right.
I wish Frank was part of my family. Can you imagine Frank at Thanksgiving? Frank for the 4th of July on a grill. Frank on Halloween. I really like to imagine Frank in one of those hot dog costumes. He's grilling hot dogs in the hot dog costume. Ah, what a vision.
We got movement. We're simmering away, just a light simmer. We don't want this to boil very hard. You can smell a little garlic, but it's not overpowering. The more you process garlic, the stronger it is. That's why I chose not to chop this. So I'm gonna stop there, and then I'm gonna assemble. You can see that everything's nice and thick and delicious. A little bit of the cheese. I'm gonna overfill these a little. I'm not gonna just kind of fill them to the top. I'm gonna go all the way up past the rim because they will shrink just a little. Some more potatoes. A little bit more cheese. I wonder how Gabi's doing with the Palms Paisan.
I really could use that beer right now.
Thanks, Gabi. Ah, so refreshing.
I know at some point this is gonna have to flip, and that's what I'm terrified of. I'm gonna wanna tuck these edges in before I flip it because I don't want them going everywhere. I'm putting the butter on the side so that it slips a little easier. It will also toast those edges a little more. Oh my goodness, it is toasty. This plate will help me in flipping this. Do I want to do this first? We're gonna do this first. I'm gonna go ahead and say Hail Mary. So, take 2. Ooh, my God. I did it. I did it. Look at how pretty it is. It's golden, it's brown.
I'm gonna top all these off so they have plenty of cream in them. The top part is really gonna be the bottom of the gratin. These are gonna go to the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes.
The clarified butter back in. I think that the best approach is just to kind of slide it on in. I can take a breath for the first time since we've started. I'm really excited that it has this crust on the top because I feel like it's just gonna crunch. And then in the middle, you're gonna have that delightful surprise. Oh yeah, I think we're done. Slide this off onto this rack and then it's gonna drain some of the butter. What a treat. Pomme palaison. Up next is Frank's grilled broccoli rabe, and that terrifies me a little bit. Okay, Frank, let's do this.
Originally, Gabi was going to roast her carrots, but I thought since we have some beer, they're gonna be kind of beer and brown sugar glazed carrots. When I peel carrots, I'm gonna cut the ends off first, okay? And this just makes it a little easier and quicker to peel. Now I can just go with one swipe and get the carrot clean.
Wow, it's like changing before my eyes. Come on out, kids. You're getting pruny into the ice bath. All right, my broccoli rabe is officially all blanched.
We do something called an oblique cut. Turn it like a third of a turn towards you and cut kind of right in the middle of your previous cut. And this gives us kind of like an even carrot cut, even though the carrots aren't even. I'm gonna go directly in the pan. I'm not even turning the pan on yet. You can kind of see that you get this like, almost like a diamond shape. It's, you know, shines bright like a diamond, right? And they'll cook evenly. And we just wanna simmer these. I'm gonna take a nice knob of butter. Don't be shy with the butter. This is my drinking beer. I'm keeping this here. I'm gonna cover the carrots. And what's cool about the black and tan, it's got some really nice caramel notes. They're gonna match kind of the sauce up with the carrots. The carrots have some sweetness. This has some caramel flavor, a little bit of salt, and then we have some brown sugar. I think brown sugar highlights those same caramel notes that we have in the beer. Break your butter up. The butter, the sugar, and the beer are going to form the base of our glaze.
I'm gonna make an oil for my broccoli rabe when I grill it. I love olive oil so much. I like garlic. We're gonna use a lot. There's probably some hack that Frank knows that I don't.
If you lean on it, you'll get all the cloves out. Just give it a little whack.
Toss these in. I wanna let that infuse a little bit before I add in the chilies because I wanna make sure that these aren't going to overpower everything else and be too spicy or anything like that. I plop them in. They smell good. We'll do one more. Have you even had pimenton? It's like a sweet paprika. It's so good, it's smoky. It's like the mezcal of spices. I feel like I wanna just add in a little salt and pepper. Nothing crazy though, because we already have the chilies in there. I'm gonna set it right here on the cutting board and let it cool. Now we're gonna grill my broccoli rabe. Our nicely, beautifully blanched, for the first time in my life, may I add, broccoli rabe. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take all throughout and get it covered so it's not gonna be sticking to the grill. Go ahead and hit the grill. Ooh, very nice. Oh yeah, we're starting to get some char. We don't wanna burn them, but we want there to be a little bit something going on. Okay, I'm gonna just let it do its thing and wish I had that beer in my hand. Does Frank have my beer?
Trying to get me drunk, huh?
I hope he's enjoying it at least.
Give me 6 more, we'll see where we're at. So while the carrots are happily bubbling away in our beer, I'm gonna take the chance to make our pork chop and the sauce that goes with the dish. And there's really not much you need to do to this other than get it nice and brown and don't overcook it. I'm gonna season it well, just a little bit of pepper. The salt's gonna form a crust with the pepper. The middle part of the meat has no seasoning at all. It's gonna be seasoned as you eat it. What I'm looking for is that my oil kind of makes ripples, and I'm also looking for a little bit of smoke. I take my pork chop, just put it into the pan and drop it away from you. Leave it alone.
All right, I think these have a nice char on them, so I'm gonna go ahead, put them on here. I know that Frank is a fan of layering flavors, so a little extra drizzle, a little salt. All right, we're gonna make a vinaigrette. I got my spring onions, my herbs. We're gonna toss them all up, stir them together, and I'm gonna make this vinaigrette, and then this is gonna end up going on top of my pork. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these in some olive oil before I start charring them. All right, on the go. We wanna get that nice charred flavor and incorporate it into the vinaigrette. get my garlic started. Lots of garlic in this dish. Mince, 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 mince. Oregano is just the coziest little herb. I also don't want to use too much of my jalapeno because spicy isn't necessarily a staple of Spanish cooking. My onions are looking like they would like to flip on their backside. Oh man, look at that. All right, Frank, I see what you're doing here with this.
And we're gonna leave it on this side for maybe 7 to 8 minutes, maybe a little more depending on how the brown looks. I'm gonna lower my heat just a little because I got some nice smoke going on here. Some of the juices are gonna come off this pork chop and caramelize. And in French, they call that fond. You don't wanna get rid of that stuff. You can see I have some nice browning there, right? After I sear this side, I'm gonna hold it up with my tongs and try and brown this piece of fat off. I'm gonna turn it over and get that fat nice and brown. Now's a good time for a sip of beer.
My parsley is pretty finely chopped, which I want for my vinaigrette. For my oil, 3/4 cup. Glug, 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 glug. Go ahead and put this in. Spanish sherry. Ooh, it smells so good. It smells so sweet. And that's gonna be so awesome to balance out everything else. I really am excited. I'm gonna let these cool for a second while I get my whisk. Pretty generous pinch. Maybe a little more. Ground pepper. Chop these spring onions. I wanna make sure they're not too big of chunks. I'm gonna go ahead and add this in and then I'm gonna whisk it all together. Spring onion vinaigrette is done. We are cooking the Iberico Pluma. I'm gonna do exactly what Rosemary told me to do. The Iberico Pluma looks kinda like a really, really fancy pork tenderloin.
The Iberico hog or pig is so different than the rest because the hogs eat so many acorns and natural things. The fats are really different, and I would just leave it on the rare side in the range of 135 for this cut of meat. The saffron and the salt together, I would just sprinkle on at the end. The salt in particular is really luxurious.
As you can see, it is just absolutely marbled with this beautiful fat, and the color is so brilliant. Drizzle on a little bit of this gorgeous oil. So that's even a little much. Okay. Just a nice little pinch all over.
When you poke on a piece of raw meat, it leaves a dent. Medium's gonna have some spring back, leaving just a little bit of a dent. Well done is gonna be like hard as a rock. What I wanna do is let it rest. It's got some really nice golden brown color to it. So I have all this excess fat. I'm gonna get rid of almost all of it, right? I'm gonna lower the heat so this doesn't burn. Just get my garlic, cloves, and then I just rough chop. Take a little fresh oil, and then I'm gonna take my garlic and put it into the pan with that fond. Beautiful fond right there. My garlic is sizzling away. I'm gonna take the leftover beer that I had and I'm gonna deglaze. Deglazing is a term where we're gonna take a liquid, pour it into the pan to kind of stop the garlic from cooking, but it's also gonna lift up those beautiful brown bits from the pork chop. And now I'm gonna let this reduce. I turn it up really high and I kind of scrape off all those brown bits so that they come off the bottom. And that's the base for our sauce. We have a little bit of this thyme. I'm gonna take a little sprig and throw it into the sauce. We have it in the potatoes. We might as well throw it in here. You can see we're getting a few big bubbles in there, and that's what I want. I want this to bubble away. The fond is off the bottom. If I run my spatula through, there's nothing left on the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna add my chicken broth, kind of double the amount of beer, and I'm gonna let this reduce. I'm not gonna go heavy on the salt right now because if it reduces and I have too much salt now, it's gonna be way too salty.
We are ready for the grill. The smoke is blowing in my face and it smells so good. It's like a perfume. I'm gonna leave here and there's gonna be a pack of dogs just chasing me through the street. Not gonna touch it, just gonna let it do its thing.
Potatoes are out of the oven. And all I'm gonna do is put my paring knife in and it comes out nice and clean. I'm gonna run my knife around the edge just to see how it comes out. Give it a little tap, whisper to it, come on, come out. And a little bit of patience prevails, okay? We'll put some of this cheddar cheese on top and we're gonna throw it into the broiler.
We're flipping. Oh yeah. I'm gonna otherwise let it do its thing. It's the thing when you grill, you always gotta give it a little test. Very Spanish too.
So the sauce is happily bubbling away, right? I think it's time to add butter. And what this is gonna do, this is gonna help round our sauce out, a nice flavor. I could take the thyme out now. Most of the leaves stayed on there, but it's given its flavor to the sauce. Just gonna add a little black pepper to this. Oop, it just blew up on me. Not the pepper master, the salt master.
So let's see where we're at. We're at 130, 31. 32. All right, we're there. And here is the Iberico Pluma. All right.
My sauce, but I'm gonna add a little lemon juice, and then we're gonna strain everything out. Just the sauce, none of the chunks. So I don't have any seeds in there. There's no pepper, there's no garlic. It's a nice clean sauce. You can see that my carrots, you see like it's getting kind of thick and syrupy. My carrots are done. And I think we're ready to plate. Just to make this a little restaurant fancy, I'm gonna take my potato dish that's nice and brown, and I'm gonna place it on the plate. This is gonna kind of be the anchor of our dish. It's gonna hold my pork chop up and give it some of that height that I'm looking for.
The skin is like crackling. So tender, might be a little thicker than I should have. We're gonna cut a nice fat wedge. We're winging it. Look at the meat and cheese, you see the layers.
The carrots are nice and glazed. You can see they're shiny. I don't want that glaze on my plate. That glaze is a little too sweet. I'm angling my pan away from me so I don't get that glaze. And I'm just gonna have them kind of peek out the side here.
Let's see. Like I said, I'm no expert. Our vinaigrette over on this side.
I got my pork chop. I'm gonna choose whichever side looks the nicest, and I think this side looks great. Give my plate a clean.
The saffron finishing salt. What is that? Who is she? She is Saffron.
I went to a lot of trouble to get this pork chop golden brown. So I'm not gonna take my sauce right now and dump it over the top. Direct it with our spoon. And that is my pork chop dinner. I hope Gabi likes it. I zhuzhed it up a little, but I think that it might bring back some memories of Grandma. Cool.
How can I make this not so ugly? All that work and it looks stupid on a plate. So like, I'm just gonna clean this edge of the plate off. I can't wait for Frank to taste it.
Cheers. Hi Gabi, how are you?
Hi,
nice
how
to meet
are you? It's so nice to meet you.
We're going here.
Cheers.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's a little fancier than I think that my gram used to make. I feel like this is a little taste of Spain and this for me is a little taste of home. How'd it do?
It tastes like a steak, right? It's delicious.
Am I getting in here?
I like it a little rarer,
Okay.
but it's so juicy and delicious, the piece of meat. It's just great. Potato, it's got that beautiful Iberico ham. Mm-hmm. The outside is crispy and the center is kind of creamy and you nailed it, right? You can taste the ham. It doesn't overpower. Right. Taste a little bit of the smokiness. It's not overpowering.
Good.
The heat isn't overpowering from the chilies, and that's kind of the idea. I give it an A+. This is good.
A+.
Yes.
From Frank. Frank, what's the best bite of this pork chop?
The loin is delicious, but I like something closer to the bone. Like right here, there's a little nugget of meat that has fat on it.
Mmm. I love it.
Thank you.
I love that it's just in this like gorgeous little mound. That is comfort food.
Does it bring you back a little?
My brain just went like 20 years back. They're like twisties. Let's see. Wow.
I mean, they're a little sweet because there's some brown sugar in there.
I like that.
You know, we have fatty and then another fatty, and then we have something that's a little sweet. I think it helps cut it a little. I'm never going to be as good of a cook as your grandma, right? Because like nobody's as good a cook as my grandmother. It's all, and it sounds corny, but it's about love. It's the people you make it for.
It is.
If you love them,
Yep.
you're going to take good care of them, you know?
Yep. That was so much fun.
Can I get a selfie with you?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yay. You don't know this yet, but we have a Halloween costume planned for you. Do you know what it's going to be?
What?
So I would really love to grill hot dogs with you while you're wearing a hot dog costume.
I think that as long as I make my own costume, people will be accepting of it. But I have to make it. So.